Hi, good morning everyone. Let's get started with our next training topic, which is on workflow for Java based export. So in this particular training session, we will be talking about the different flow of activities which is required to be performed on the source and the target system, and their sequence and the significance of all of these activities in brief. Okay, so let's get started. So basically the first thing that we will talk about is the source system task, especially for the system which is greater than NetWeaver 04. Okay, here you can see that these steps, they are generic steps and they are important for the Java based web-based system copy. Steps may vary a little bit in their order, but the J size check, what you're seeing here, is called to create the dbsize.xml file for all target databases where this file is needed. The log file for JSize check can be found in the installation directory. So this file, using this file, we can anticipate or find out what is going to be the size of the target database and what is the structure of the database. So based on that, the system can be prepared. Okay, the applications storing their persistent data in the file system. So SAP INST collects the file into SAP car archives. So using SAP car, we just car those files from the application. Basically we archive them, and finally we collect the SDM file system component into sdmkit.jar file. So the software component, basically the SDM, is called to put its file system component including SDM repository into this file, and finally the main export happens using the tool called JLoad, which is used to export the Java data dictionary. So Java dictionary and the data is exported using this particular utility. Okay, so here you can see that which are the tools which are involved. So main thing is JSize check, which is used for creating the structure and populating the size of the database. That is one thing. And another key tool is the JLoad, which is used for the export dump. Basically the data export is done using JLoad, and the structure, the SDM, the software deployment manager, those files are bundled together using the SDM, the SAP car utility. Okay, so that is pretty much on the source system task. Let's get into the target system task. So what are the things we need to perform in the target system? Okay, so target system, first thing is we just need to make sure that we have the database ready. Okay, we need to install the database software. Depending on what type of database it is, we need to perform the installation, that is just the software installation, not the database creation part. Okay, we can do a database creation depending on jsize.xml. Okay, and after that we install Java Web AS J2E engine, that is central services. So as we have seen, the first thing is database software installation is required only in cases where the Java Web AS is installed using its own database, post to Java add-in installation into an existing ABAP database. Then JLoad is called to load the database. You can see the JLoad is called both for loading and unloading. Okay, then SDM file system component are reinstalled or redeployed. Basically those exported components, they are redeployed into the target system, and Java crypto toolkit must be redeployed based on, basically for the weak or strong encryption. And application specific data is restored using SAP car, because we have the car SAR files, and using SAP car utility we extract them. And various post migration tasks must be done to bring the system to a proper state. So post migration tasks are pretty important because there are a lot of post migration tasks, because it has a lot of parameters, lot of variables specific to the host name, specific to the port on which the source system was listening, specific to the username with which source system was running. Okay, so these are some of the key activities for performing an export and import in a Java based system. Thank you for joining, and basically just to recap what we have seen here is a summary. So in the case of an ABAP system copy, the installation program, that is SAP INST, call r3loadctl, and R3 load to unload the database structure and the data. And R3 size check is used basically just to calculate the size of table and index for the target database. The resulting values are used to compute the ABAP related size of the target database. So in the target system, R3 load is used to reload the database. So that happens in the ABAP system. Now what happens in the Java system? Similar thing. Using SAP INST, we archive the application data from the file system, invokes SDM to preserve its file system data, and calls JLoad to unload the database structure and the data. Using JSize check, we compute the size of the target database, and in the target system, SDM redeployed software components, and using JLoad we redeploy the database and the archive data will be extracted. That's all pretty much I wanted to cover in this particular training session. Thank you for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.